All right, it has been 2 weeks since we applied 16 different professional coatings to this Honda Accord. This is the first wash, so we want to wash it and see if there's any difference in water behavior between all these different coatings. The original video that we just put out, if you haven't seen it yet, go see that because it was an application video. We talk about all the different coatings we put on here, the different sections that we put on, and then history and a lot of information that you need to know about professional coatings. So you can see the car is very dirty. I'm gonna look at any different coatings. I don't see a lot of difference between anything. The car just looks really dirty. But you can see the tape lines, all the different sections that we have on the car. We have our control up here. You can kind of see that the control is a little dirtier than all the spots around it. That's the benefit of having a coating. It's gonna keep your car cleaner for longer. But otherwise, it just looks dirty. So we're gonna wash the car. We're actually gonna be using P&S Pearl. It's a neutral pH balanced soap, so it's not gonna strip anything off. Regularly maintain this every 2 weeks. This is a real world test, so that's why we're doing this. Let's see how all these coatings react. If you haven't watched the original video, I'll update you a little bit. There's 16 different coatings, but they all have 3 different spots on the car. So depending on where it sits on the car, it may get more wear and tear. You can see behind the wheels here, you're gonna get a lot of wear and tear, a lot of salt that goes up onto that panel. We're on the hood in the front areas like this, where the front fender, you can see that it doesn't get hit as much with the road grime and salt and oils and everything else that you're gonna run into while you're driving. We're also gonna be measuring the paint. So we did 2 different readings. We did a gloss measurement and we did a thickness measurement. So after we wash it, we're gonna do those 2 again and see if there's any changes from the original before we actually did the coating to after we did that coating. Well, first, we gotta wash it. All right, before we bring this into the clean room and take a closer look at all the coatings, I wanna step back just a little bit. I want you guys to observe the water behavior. So we're gonna use both the garden hose and a pressure washer. And I'm gonna step back and we'll label all the coatings just so you can see the difference in the water beating. Here is just the garden hose. I'm not gonna do too much talking here. I just want you to observe the water behavior on each of these coatings. It's only been 2 weeks, so I'm expecting each of these coatings to perform very well. And I look forward to hearing everybody's thoughts in the comments down below. just taking a little bit of a closer look to some of these coatings. One of the things that the guys noticed last week is there is one coating on here that looks a little bit darker than all the other ones, and that's this one right here. It's P11, and then we'll get a close-up shot and show you a little bit. When you stand right here, you can see that that panel is darker than all the rest of them. It's just an observation. Excited to see what the gloss meter reads on this. After the paint correction was done on this car and before we applied the ceramic coatings, we took 2 different readings on the paint. The first was a gloss reading and the second was a thickness measurement. It's now time to see if there's any difference after the coatings have been applied. Most of the coatings that we have used claim to add a thickness of 1 to 5 microns on the paint surface. There were actually a couple coatings that claimed to add 20 plus microns of thickness. So we're going to use the NEX paint thickness gauge to take 3 different measurements in each section, and then we're going to take the average of those 3 readings. Now it's very hard to measure in the exact same spot each time to get a truly accurate reading. If you just move the paint gauge just 1/4 of an inch, you're going to have a jump of several microns on the reading. We're going to show you the before readings and then the after coating readings that we got from the paint thickness gauge. You're going to see most of these coatings did gain a couple of microns. What I did not see though is any significant gain in layer thickness on any of these coatings. And again, it's very hard to get a truly accurate reading doing this test. I mean, I would not put too much emphasis on these results. Next is the gloss readings. Just like the paint thickness gauge, we took 3 different readings in each section and averaged them out. Most of these coatings lost a little bit of gloss, which is consistent with past testing and other testing videos. There is lots of room for error in both these tests. So again, please do not read these results and make any solid confirmations. There are much more sophisticated tools and controlled testing environments than what we can do or provide in our detail shop. So this was our 2-week wash. This is a real world test. We're going to continue to wash this car every 2 weeks or so. Our next video is going to be at the 2-month mark. We're going to come back here, wash the car, look at the water behavior. Maybe we'll do a little bit of testing here and just see where we're at and see if there's anything similar that we can see in these results. But I'd love to hear what you guys think. What do you think of the coating so far? What do you think of the properties? Which ones did you like? I'd love to hear more down in the comments down below. Make sure you subscribe because we have lots more videos coming for you. Thanks for watching.